Hi there traders, so let's do a muscle memory again, backtesting, and let's take the time to actually make our principles again, because more we practice, more stronger our muscle memory gonna be. So my principles of the reaction are very simple, because I'm like my principles are developing by not having the manipulation and noise in my principles. So I'm keeping the principle super simple. So let's do it then. So what we are super simple is, the first principle is we're gonna break higher. Actually, I'm gonna make a little bit differently this time. So when we have the breaking structure, our principle is we're gonna break higher, retest, and going higher. And the same thing is downsides. We're gonna break and going lower. But when we have the rejection we're gonna have rejection like that. That's gonna be rejection, or we can have rejection on downsides, same things, and going lower. So that's the breaking structure upside, breaking structure downsides. So that's the rejection in going downside, going upside, and that's the rejection going upside and going downside. That's mean the prices can go like things, retest and going lower, and the same thing is opposite sides, can retest and going higher. Rejection principle, break and retest principle. So what we have now here is box information. Box information is when the price is going things, we have breaking structure upsides and breaking structure downsides. And the same thing we can have, not breaking structure, but we have the rejection and we're gonna go downsides. And the same thing opposites here. We have the rejection here and we're gonna go opposite side. Exactly the same principles. Everything same, 100%. Same thing with the rejection highs and rejection lows. We're gonna have the breaking structure going higher, or we're gonna have the rejection and going lower. And same thing with here. We have the rejection going higher, or we have the breaking structure going lower. The principles are all same in the level holders, in the box information, and the rejection highs, rejection lows. And then we have the Fibonacci, and Fibonacci we know already. So we have pullbacks like that. So we have the pullback here in the Fibonacci. Or the second opportunity is we have to pull back only that zone here, and we're gonna go, or we're gonna just break lower and going here. Both sides opposite, and that's a long or short, it's opposite then. So what we have, and then we have trend lines. Trend lines is very similar principle. When we're gonna break it, when the trend line is going nicely, we're gonna break it, retest it, and going back here. And same thing opposite side, and then we can have the rejections of the trend line too. So let's say we're gonna make the trend line here. We can have some kind of break, but this is still holding, and we're gonna go here, and we can still have like that, and price can go back and retest, and now going higher, absolutely no problem, because it's still holding and still don't break in the lows. And same thing the opposite sides. So what we have more, so now we have we have the Tauber balance, breaking, retest, going higher, and the failing Tauber pattern, The failing W pattern is we're gonna go here, we try to, you know, break it like that, and then it's happened like that. And exactly the same thing with the M pattern. We have the breaking structure, retest going lower, and with the M pattern is we have the M pattern up the sides. We're gonna go break light and going higher. So those are our main development of the patterns. You know, that's the absolute main things. You know, we have the trend lines, we have the box information, rejection highs, rejection lows, level of holders, Fibonacci, and our main patterns. You know, that's a very good toolkit to start trading. You know, after mastering of trading mindsets. You know, that's a very good trading kit, and you know, good principles. So let's zoom in here. So let's talk about that because it's super important. So what we see right now is we have rejection high and we have rejection low here. So now price is highs, and now we have the huge, you know, very deep, you know, move to the downside. But what's happening? We didn't break the lows, but in the same time we actually break our last high. You know, if you're looking the last high and this one, you know, you see straight away this high is higher. You know, and then you can use the Fibonacci here to the highs. And what you see here, if you zoom inside, you know, those two legs, you know, they are holding super nicely inside the Fibonacci principles. And if you're looking inside a little bit here, you know, we have the W pattern with the breaking structure higher, retest, and price is going higher. You know, the same what we just do the upside. And here you see we have super nice double retest of the 618 principle. You know, exactly the same thing what we just made here. You know, where is the W? Yeah, you know, same W here and the Fibonacci here. You know, it's exactly the same things. And the same thing was happening actually before too. You know, if you look in that structure here and that structure here, you know, it's exactly the same structures. Like look at this one, and what we have more here, you know, confirmation. So the confirmation is going straight there to up here, like that. You know, now we have trend line here, respecting all the way to the up, you know, and then we have break structure going downside here, and this one actually, you know, because let's delete those ones, and now we leave the trend line and we still use the Fibonacci because we break our main high. That's the opportunity to break higher, and now we break this one, and what we have here, the 618 retest. You know, it's a pretty good one. And what you see here, our rejection high was breaking. We have a little bit deeper retests, but the second retest here, you know, pretty good one. The same principle what we was talking about. Where you are, this one, we're gonna break, retest, and going higher. So what was happening here? So we have to break, we have to retest, and going higher after that. So same thing here. Let's talk about the opportunities, because we have to understand what is the opportunity. So we have this whole movement downsides. So what is the opportunity? So the opportunities, we break that low and going lower, or we break that point and start building to go higher. We have to understand, because that was the we have the breaking structure movement downside. To the here was the maximum movement downside, and now we have the pullback, and that was the that was the maximum of the pullback, and then we have another this one downside. So, but we have to understanding the principle what we made now here. So the only way to push some higher movements to the upside is above that one. That's our first challenge. Whatever the price is doing, that's our first challenge. And now what you see, we have the breaking structure, the first one, and now you're gonna use the Fibonacci on that low here, because that was the movement what was breaking the structure. Because we have, this one here is going up. Now we have the pullback downsides. So we're gonna use this one, and what we're gonna see here, the 618 retest. Beautiful, it's a beautiful retest. And now we're gonna delete this one, and now what we see another breaking structure, and you use the same now this one here, and what you see, the double retest of the 618 principle, and after that the price is going higher. That's tell you something. That's the information. That's the pure information. If you're following the principle of the Fibonacci, it's the pure pure information of the solid breaking structure of that zone. So now we have this nice break, little cheeky retest, and now going. There was so many opportunities to take some longs. This one here, those ones here, this retest here. Now we have the rejection high, break and retest, and after that price was just going higher and higher and higher. It's super good. So let's talk about, can we zoom more in? So then we have the equilibrium point, what was respect. The other thing is actually realize, the volume of the bodies. We have to really understand the volume, because the top of the volume right now is here, and the top of the that pattern what we have down here. So now we have the breaking structure of the pattern, and we break the this one here, the opportunity to go higher. So we break that one, and now we have the retest. So we have this retest back in that top of the pattern, and the same retest was the 618 retest too. So now you have much more information to go higher, and now you don't even have to trade here, so you can just be patient and wait another confirmation, because that one here it is much more valid. And same times we can use some trend lines here too. Can we use this one or even this one? Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. More likely, yeah, these ones are much better. Like, we can use this one too, but then we miss this one. So like here I'm seeing we like the price action was letting go on the trend line, but this one we see the price action is still holding the trend line, and then we have to break off the trend line, retest of the trend line, and going higher. Super good. If you see those, if you're using like this fib right now here, your entry can be nicely here, no problem. Or if you are professional trader, you can enter here, or you're gonna enter here. Every single one is 618 retest. So what we have here, buns. What was this one? This was the 618, and this was the level of holder. Yeah, it was going all the way back here. Yeah. So let's go like this one here. That's the pretty, like, you know, people can a little bit freak out here. So let's do, you know, same thing of the opportunity dog. That's the same zone. That's the same zone here. You know, price have to go at least back to that area where we have opportunity, and then we have the pullback. You know, the same thing what we was talking about here in the first place, the same zone here. But now we have the much more stronger. But you know, this pullback was, you know, purely manipulation when people think, but actually it was the, you know, strong retest back to the 618 and just gonna go higher. You know, it's a very strong movement what price action can do if the direction is, you know, solid, and the direction was up and it was solid. So the second thing is gonna be this one here. You know, this perfectly 618 retest here, and you see, you know, if you look in the trend line again here. Oh, let's do the trend line here. So what is our good trend line? So definitely I see something like that here. You know, we have this breaking, you know, we break out, you know, we break out of the trend line retest, and now we have the solid drop of the 618 principles, and now we break the highs, retest, breaking the highs, retest, and going higher. So what was happening here? We have to break of the, you know, we have to break in the trend line, retest, solid drop down to the 618, breaking the highs, retest, breaking the highs, retest, and going higher. You know, that's exactly the same thing. You know, like we have to see those places, you know. You know, same thing. Solid drop on 618, breaking the highs, retest, breaking the highs, retest, and going higher. You know, even this one is same, you know, like exactly the same actually. Okay, this didn't touch the 618, but that one was touching 618. So, you know, the first one, this was touching the 618 too. But you know, it's very similar. And now we can use this structure here, the last one, like exactly what we used in the previous one, and we have the solid 618 retest. You know, exactly the same. Basically, for me, it's 1-to-1 because we used exactly the same zone, we used exactly the same trend line, and overall we use exactly the same Fibonacci. You know, same here, same Fibonacci here, and same Fibonacci here. And now just breaking higher. You know, 1-to-1 trade here. So let's zoom in here what we have inside here. Definitely something interesting. So we have this one, impulse movement, after that breaking down, impulse movement, and now we're breaking the structure. So structure was breaking down on this rejection here. And now first time when we are above it, we're going back. You know, same thing, we can use the same opportunity zone here. So it doesn't matter whatever is happening with the market, that's the zone where we have to go higher, you know, when prices want to go higher. You know, above that is the first opportunity. You know, those are not the opportunities, those are just the pullback movements. Opportunity of going long is only those places, and how you're gonna you know, see those zones. Exactly what I was doing the, you know, last time. We have the pullback down, breaking the structure, and that was the full extension movement higher, and then we break the structure. You know, exactly the same thing what was previously. And what we see here, we have, you know, strong breaking structure, and then after that we break in the lows, we retest rejection lows here, and after that the price didn't go anymore back in that zone, but in, you know, other side we actually break in the lows, and now we have the same play here. We try to go higher but we fail, and now we have to break in structure, nice solid retest, and going higher. And that's another zone when the prices want to go higher. We have to break now above that zone, because we have the exactly the same thing here. You know, price is breaking lower, we have the full extension pullback, and price is breaking lower. you know, exactly the same thing. You know, let's see, can we see when the price is back in the same area what's gonna happen? You know, price was back in that place here. You know, still, you know, look at that, rejection, rejection. Now we try something, but this previous rejection lows and now rejection highs. We fail. We have the nice retest, even we have nice like impulse movement, but we fail miserably and breaking the lows. And now we retest and bye bye this. You know, like the same exact the same zone was super. You know, look at those. You know, it's 100% same zone. You know, rejection, rejection. We try something, rejection, rejection, breaking structure, retest, and gone. You know, like we give up and fail miserably. Exactly the same zone, exactly the same principle, and it's exactly what was happening here. And we have same kind of movement downside. And this is gonna be the 618. I'm pretty sure about that. Yep, 618. Nice sells here, you know, like perfect. You know, right now what we have, you know, we have the rejection lows. We break the rejection lows, and then we have the opportunity zone. What is, you can call it level of holder. Like you can put your own words there. For me, it's like that's the opportunity. You know, that's still a level of holder, because the level of holder is opportunity to go higher or to go lower. But now you have to, you know, little twist of the developmenting, because you know the principle is still the same, like the level holder. We have to break higher, retest, and going, you know, going higher. But now we have the Fibonacci play. Now we break, you know, it's a perfect trade. It's a very solid. Like, look at this, you know, Bamaki. Look at those last 2 day profits. It's blowing my mind. You know, another 618 retest, another 618 retest, another 618, another 618. All those Fibonacci moments here. I don't have to even pull those Fibonacci because I see those. Like I can do here. 618. Ooh. Ooh. 618 and 618 and 618. Nice solid ground here with bit of money. That is something interesting, you know, like that's the one thing what I'm doing when I'm, you know, backtesting. I'm actually taking the volume out when I'm looking, you know, the box information here, you know, because the original price is still here if you take the manipulation out. Because look at that, after when we move in that zone, look at how we are back in the same zone. That's mean all this block above, you know, it's a manipulation. There is nothing to look basically for me, because the price is now back here, and now we actually make the original principles of the box information. That is just purely manipulation or news power or something, whatever it was in that moment there. And I don't see right now anything else. So that's a nice, you know, back pocket information to train muscle memory. You know, it's a good video. If you have some questions, leave in the comments and I'm gonna answer the questions. If it's too good question, I'm gonna answer with the video. And I'm gonna see you every single one tomorrow. Ciao.